Hey y'all, what's up? I hope y'all had a great day today. What did I watch the past couple days? So I watched the evolution of Jimmy in the Bloodline. Then today I watched the rise of Yeet. Both of these on YouTube. And then I watched somebody had some like behind the scene footage thing of like WWE that played. I be half asleep though, so I had to like rewatch some stuff. I honestly need to go get my nasal spray because my allergies are like real bad right now. And this is my son's. I don't even drink this. I just wanted something sweet. You never had cookout when you come to North Carolina? Well, they got them now. Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina. But they were mainly in North Carolina, Greensboro. Get it. It's good. Okay? It's all about Waffle House. But if you want a good burger. Now, for me, honestly, where I'm from, we didn't have cookout. We had Checkers. So I grew up on Checkers. Checkers burgers are better, but everything else from cookout is better. Okay? Unless you like the fries, like Arby's got, because I think they like the curly fries. But I didn't know that today was pre-recorded until so I got into Raw 5 minutes late, or 8:03. I didn't know that it was pre-recorded until maybe 10 minutes in. So some of it, the veterans did well. The rookies, some of them didn't do so well. So start off with Rhea Ripley. I came in and Rhea Ripley was talking because I forgot it was 2 hours. This week, I will say, with it being pre-recorded, flowed better than last week being his first week of 2 hours in 12 years. I will say that. I will give you that. The segments were better. Everything was better. 100%, 180 from last week. A whole 180. Because I was confused. This is how I caught on that it was pre-recorded. Because I follow a lot of them on social media. And yesterday, I went on their website. Because I tell y'all, I constantly go on there to see if they're coming to my city. Or a city like Nashville, where my son's dad is. Or like Florida, or Orlando, Tampa, where my mom and my brother-in-law are. Or like DC, where I'm from. Like cities like that. Or even like Charlotte, Greensboro, places I could drive to. Charlotte, Greensboro, Richmond. Like I could have went to Columbia, to be honest, or go to Columbia Friday. But I look for places like that, so I went online. Oh, and my son no longer wants to go to WrestleMania because WrestleMania is triple the price. Not so much probably the tickets, but I know the flight is because I checked all the airlines. Okay, on different various devices, not the same device, because your computer will compare, and then it'll jack up prices because it knows you're looking for. So if you don't clear out your history or whatever, it does that. But yeah, so a round trip flight just for me and my son, just for me, before I had my son, was $1,100, and then I'm supposed to be taking him and my niece. That's $3,500 versus him and I taking a flight round trip. Me, him, and her taking flight round trip, and it being $900. You see the difference? Fourth of the price. Like, that's crazy. So he wants to go to the Rumble. He wants to go to the Royal Rumble. His favorite PLE, he said, is the Rumble. WrestleMania's second. WrestleMania, and I think he said his favorite was I think he said Rumble was first, and then I think it was tied with either WrestleMania in Survivor Series or WrestleMania in Elimination Chamber. I think he said. For me, my favorite PLEs are Survivor Series and Elimination Chamber. If I had to pick a third one, it'd probably be Money in the Bank. Like the last two Money in the Banks, two or three of them have not disappointed me at all. The rest of Survivor Series I love, not just because of War Games, okay? Because even when I watch old videos of the ones when they were doing NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw, those haven't disappointed me either. So I'm like a Survivor Series fan. Like if I had to pick, we'd be going to, well, I would have to renew his passport, but we would be going to Vancouver. But that's probably expensive too, because that's cross country. Like it'd be different if it was like how Money in the Bank was in Toronto. But like I said, Indianapolis been getting money, okay? Because last year I was looking at the clips with like Jade, the Yeet thing. It was in Indianapolis. Royal Rumble this year is in Indianapolis. Last year the All-Star Weekend was in Indianapolis. Then next year we're having what are we having? We having something else in Indianapolis. I think the year after next. Is it SummerSlam? Like Indianapolis is getting money, okay? I want somebody, either they winning bids or Pat McAfee really had his hand in getting people to come there, because that's crazy. Like, but first then I'm talking about Rhea was talking. I don't know what she was saying. All I heard was a certain thing. I looked at her face. Love the hair. I love the hair length on her. Love it straight or curly. Curly's my favorite. And then the red eyeshadow. Excuse me. And then Tiffany comes out. And this is what I'm talking about professionalism. Because I didn't know it was pre-recorded. Because I didn't hear. Normally at the beginning they'll say, we're live from da-da-da-da. So I was like, because I knew they were in England. This is why. So I said, I tweeted, I was like, are we recording this live from England? Like, not live, because you know it'd be pre-recorded because it's 6 hours ahead. But is this from England or is this from somewhere else? So it was like, no, this is last year. This is last week in St. Louis. Which, I'm also glad that Raw is 2 hours. Can you imagine sitting here for 6 hours for both 2 episodes of Raw? That's crazy as hell. Like, you couldn't do pre-recordings of Raw that last year. Like, they would have all had to been live, because there's no way in hell, not unless production edited so well, like for the last like 4 weeks or something like that, we had an extra match and y'all fused it together and made it like Raw and stuff like that. But like, it's crazy because SmackDown you could do that, but now people are like, well, you know, why? And it was like, well, they're in Europe, they don't want them to keep coming back and forth. And I was like, somebody said it's gonna be a waste of money. I said, bump the money, the jet lag. If y'all had me go to Europe Saturday and then I'm there for 12 hours and then talking about, okay, you gotta be on Raw, and then after that fly back to Europe, I'd be like, I got the no. I'm not constantly doing that all week. I'm not doing, especially if I had to do it multiple times a week. No, it'd be different if I had to like go to Europe for a show or two, then fly back, and then was on Raw, and then I wouldn't have to be on TV again until like SmackDown or Raw, and it's in the States. Not me go back and forth. So I get the pre-recording. But what threw me is when I saw, is when Tiffany came out, and I was like, this why I said this is professionalism, because Tiffany came out and was talking about how Rhea and the acting. Rhea was how Nia was upset that Rhea came to SmackDown. And all this, that, and the third. This is my thing with the St. Louis crowd. Y'all are there knowing that. So when it's pre-recording or you're getting a pre-recording, do you know about the pre-recording in advance when you buy Ticketmaster? Like, do you know, like, most of the time they were like, doors open at 6:30, show starts at 7:30, 7:45, and then you're gone by like 11. Does it say like you're going to be gone by 2? And why a pre-recording on a Monday? You know what I'm saying? Like, today would have been a good day to do a pre-recording, because it's indigenous. And I can never get that word together. It's Indigenous Peoples Day. So some people got today off. Some people got today and tomorrow off. Made more sense. You see what I'm saying? And for all the people that's indigenous and you got family that got the deed to y'all land, go get y'all land back. Okay, this is y'all land to begin with. Y'all and the Aztec people, who some of them are Aztec and Mayan people who have that culture. Some converted and became like Mexican Spanish speaking culture because the Spaniards and the Spanish stuff like that. Y'all get y'all land, because this was y'all land first. Okay, Native Americans, indigenous people, whatever you want to call it, and the Mexicans, all the Hispanics, stuff like that, before colonizers came. Get y'all land back. That's all I got to say about that. Because I was watching something on Finding Your Roots. I love watching shows like that. Like, I got really into Ancestry about 5 years ago to find my roots. Because my mom passed when she was a year and a half. So I don't know her side of the family. And I don't know my dad's side of the family. Like, my granddaddy is my granddaddy. That's all I know. Because he's been with my grandma since my dad was 5. But, like, as far as roots are concerned, blood, I don't know. So, when I watch, like, certain celebrities, and, like, the one guy was an actor, and he was like, oh, my family, they're Native American, they have all this land, and one of my cousins got, like, the thing for this. And I'm like, bro, if you don't go to court and get your land back, like, that's your land. You got it in writing. Like, and I know people are scared because a lot of people that are in places of power are, keeping it real, racist white men. A lot of them. Not saying all of them. But a lot of them. Or they're misogynistic or something like that. And they don't want certain stuff to change or stuff like that. But they can't do nothing about documentation. Like, I don't care who lives there. They would just have to move. Okay. Sorry. But yeah. So I'm just saying that they're so good. And for Tiffany, this to be, when did she start being on SmackDown before she got drafted? Was it like this time last year? Like November or December? No. It had to been like January. It had to be like January. Because she ended up coming. She was in the Elimination Chamber, which was my son's birthday, February 24th. And then she got drafted to SmackDown in May. And I was like, so when she got drafted, I was like, wasn't she already a part of SmackDown? Like, I was confused as hell. Okay? So I didn't, yeah, I want to say that it was around that time. Because I think this was the time last year when Trick Williams had got attacked by Carmelo and he didn't know, and they tried to blame Lex King. So he was still in NXT, and I think Tiff had just came to SmackDown because Lyra had won the championship from her. And this is, I think, before or right when Roxanne had came back. Did Lyra win that title? I think she won the title, and then Becky won it from her, and then Lyra won it back around this time last year. So Tiffany been on the roster for about a year, if I'm not mistaken. So the professionalism of her being able to keep up was very impressive. Of how when they were talking about how Rhea attacked all of them on Friday. That's what I'm saying. Do they be like, when they get done with the first Raw recording, like, hey, you guys, we're going to do a pre-recording. Some of the stuff you might not understand. Like, do y'all give a PSA or do y'all just roll with it and keep going? Because if I was sitting there and then Rhea comes back out, I'm like, oh, Rhea. And then Tiffany comes out and she's talking about, oh, well, you attacked Nia on Friday. I would have to reevaluate my life. Like, when did she attack Nia on Friday? Like, because the Friday before, she didn't attack Nia. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'd have been confused as hell. Okay, like what? So they played that out well. And then was it Liv? Liv and them came out, and they was pissed. Like she came out, she was pissed or whatever. So then they showed a promo of Damage Control, but it was an old promo from like 2 weeks ago, because only way I know is because that image of Jade wearing her AKA jacket circles and the pink that she wore underneath it is what they had in the promo. And that was right when they told Naomi that she was going to host Bad Blood with them. So that was like a week and a half ago, which promos are to be expected. I don't expect them to be shot on the same day, and if they are, I expect them to be shot like earlier that day, and then editing and stuff by the time that the show starts. But you're talking about Damage Control, and Kairi and Iyo gave their version, and then Iyo, people's like, Iyo had a translator. I'm like, Iyo is a female Shinsuke, okay? Very sinister with her promos, very whatever. Except for now with Kairi, she didn't do it as much. But like last year when they did it, she was very, it was like little, it was because her voice got deeper. And I was like, okay. So Jade came out and Bianca came out. And Jade in the yellow and the pink, which I haven't seen Jade out in the yellow and the pink in a while. Then Kairi came out, the Pirate Princesses, and Iyo came out. Kairi to me is a vibe. Like, I love her. Like, her style, if I was to take anybody's like style as far as like hairstyle and makeup every week, it would definitely be her. Like, she's just real pretty to me. She's real pretty. Like, and the stuff that you think, like, case in point, if somebody else or any other people, certain groups of people was to wear the same thing that she would wear, like the way she has her hair and like the knot things, or the, I forgot what they're called. My brain is like sleep time. And then or the braid with the side thing, it won't look right. Like, it don't look right on everybody, but she pulled it off. Okay. So yeah, they did their thing, and I was like, that's what made me discouraged a little bit when I saw that I found out I was pre-recorded, because I was like, well, we know what's the end result of this match gonna be. Like, my whole mood changed. I was like, we know that the stormiEST duo is gonna keep the titles because they have to fight on Friday against Lash and Jakara, and then they showed them two on the side, and Lash and Jakara are doing their little thing, and then Lash bows and was like, we coming to get those titles or something like that. And I was like, they should have shot her and told her to mouth something like, we about to get like a rematch, because I'm like, because she mouthed that and I could pretty much read lips, you knew this was pre-recorded also. I said, that's what she has to learn. And so I was like, some of the rookies were professional, like not professional, but like they caught on quick to it, and then some weren't. Like, I know she was talking to her tag team partner when she said it, but because the camera was on her and they caught her, I was like, yeah, this is pre-recorded. Like, yeah, okay. Like, if I didn't believe it before, I definitely believe it now. Okay. People were trying to figure out like how was that match gonna go, because Iyo had beat Bianca, and I don't think Bianca has been beat in the singles match at all this year. But at the same time, she's only had like 3 singles matches this year, so the odds are not that high. Like, you know what I'm saying? People were talking about on how she still needs to be undefeated at WrestleManias. And old clips of her came up on Twitter of how she was talking about how she was undefeated on NXT. And I was like, did she leave NXT undefeated? Because if she did, I'm like, her and Asuka are the only two, I think, that were NXT undefeated or left undefeated. My eye. It's like I have like 4 eyelashes that was stuck and trying to get in. Okay, so then after that, I think Rhea was talking to Pearce about how she was not happy about Liv and Raquel and what she's gonna do about it. And Pearce was like, I feel you, but you can't do this on yourself by yourself. Cause when I was like, it's the chaos for me. So I was like, are we gonna get this small little chaos with Nia and Liv and Raquel and Tiffany and Rhea? And then I was like, it could be a 5-way chaos. Then I said, no, it'll be a 2v2v2. And I said, no, it'll be Liv versus Rhea versus Nia. But I'm like, Nia has Tiffany. Liv has Raquel. Rhea doesn't have nobody in her corner. So I'm like, who would be in her corner? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of nobody. No, the only other person that she might probably could only persuade to be in her corner, because Pure Fusion Collection ain't gonna do it. It would have to be either Ivy now, would have had to be in her corner. But my first thought was Scarlett, because I'm like, Scarlett is, I think, one of the only females on the Raw roster that damage control has not like affected or had them feel some type of way or something like that, or the Final Testament has come up against. I don't remember. I can't remember. Raw is, let me tell you something. These past 3 years, us on WWE have been so eventful that I forgot some of the stuff that has happened. Like, when, case in point, okay, went off on a tangent here. I was watching Rise of Jimmy on WWE. First of all, my son and I watched the Rise of the Bloodline. It was like 2.5 hours last year. And they only show them as a collective. So they show what happens with the 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Collectively. Or stuff that ties in with the 3 of them. So I'm like, okay. So then, the year after, they showed like the rise of Jey Uso. This is before he went to, well, I think when he first went to Raw, before all that. And they showed certain stuff, and I said, they didn't show some of these matches in that Rise to the Bloodline thing. Like, it's certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm watching the Rise of Jimmy. And I'm like, first they left out some of the funny parts, like the no yeet phase. And he's on the injured reserve list. He can't do something. And the part, what he said, timeout, they just show him like doing like this, but timeout. And it was something else that they left out. But like how, when I was watching that, I was like, this is crazy, because he threw in the towel to stop his brother and stuff like that. And they would call each other by his real names in the Thunderdome. Like, he was like, I'm throwing in the towel. Jay was like, John, don't do it. Don't do it. And I said, oh, they call each other real name. So then when he jumped in the towel, like, he just had the surgery. And he was like, this is Josh, fool. Like, you know who we are. And stuff like that. Then he did the tribal chief thing. And then the only reason why he joined is to, like, because his brother was not going to not join. So he always was there to look out for Jay. Okay? And then, because even at the beginning, he didn't want, like, when they was beating up the Mysterios, like, he couldn't get with it. He walked off. And then he came back fully healed. And then, when he left the first time, when like him and Roman were arguing and Jay was in the middle, he left the first time and he was like, he told Jay, he said, come with me. Like, come with me. We don't need him. Come with me. Like, he told him to come with. Jay was scared. It's like when you know somebody, it's like when somebody's like being verbally abusive and you know you should leave, but that's all you know because you feel like that's a form of love, or you feel like the other people won't like you or accept you or something like that if you don't leave and stuff like that. That's what Jay was. He was getting manipulated. So he was like, I told like Jay. So that's the main reason why Jimmy joined the bloodline. Somebody was like, he loyal. I was like, to look out, make sure his brother was okay. He didn't want his brother to go too far down the pipeline, and then eventually they ended up going down the pipeline. And then I don't see the text. Sorry, I'm trying to do something on my phone. And then he was talking about, did he help attack Sammy? Because it's blood. But then, you know, Sammy was like, you just mad basically because I did it first. That's basically what he told Jay, right? So then Jimmy did it. But the confusion part of Jimmy's story is, now I know the part where Jay ties in. Okay. I'm trying to get my life together. Sorry. So you have a curly appointment. Sorry. So, yeah, they ended up fighting him at Money in the Blank. Jay ended up, winning. They ended up winning, and then they both left, and then, they tried to pin it on Jay that is the reason why Jimmy was hurt. And then, Jimmy started sabotaging his brother's matches, like out of, I don't know if it was jealousy or he was just mad and bitter or what. Because that one, he sabotaged a couple of them. Because he fought Seth for the title, lost. He fought, heck, a thing with Gunther for the title, lost. Him and Cody lost the tag team titles because of Jimmy. Like, now you want to show, I ain't even to that part. And then, also from the whole Jimmy situation, okay, so all that happens, and now Jimmy comes back. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't like the way Solo's going down. So I feel like Jimmy came back into the bloodline after Jay left. It's to make sure that Solo, who is also his brother, don't go down that path that Roman is going down. But he failed because he ends up being a little scared of Solo, I feel like, in general. Then I watched the rise of Yeet ever since he got signed to Raw last September. And like I said, Jay lost all those matches because of Jimmy. He had that bomb match with him, Kofi, and Ray. That match was good, really good. Then my favorite match after WrestleMania was him, Ivar, Ricochet, and Drew. And for a long time. Let me tell you something. Also, from watching Jay's thing, Raw done switched up a lot of commentators since that. They had that English guy with Wade on SmackDown, and then they had Corey and Cole on Raw. Then they got rid of the English dude, or the other dude, I don't know if he's English or not. And then they had Cole on Raw and SmackDown with Wade and with Corey. Then at the Royal Rumble, Pat came back, so they put Pat on Raw with Cole and made Corey commentate with Wade. And now Pat is gone for football season. He'll be back again in February. So then so now they got Joe and Wade on Raw and Corey and Cole on SmackDown. That's one thing. Okay. They also done put Mike on NXT and moved Alicia up to SmackDown. Okay. Then they also done moved some people from SmackDown to Raw and vice versa. SmackDown NXT and vice versa. Like Sid and Adonis are on NXT, but they're getting camera time, so I'm happy for them. And then Apollo and Baron are up here on SmackDown, which I'm happy for them because they're getting camera time too. Might not be as much as NXT, but they're not left in the dust. Okay. Then also from the whole the Jay thing, he had multiple opportunities. Like I said, Jimmy done ruined all of them. And Drew McIntyre is a Scottish psycho for real. Okay? Like Kevin and Jay had that tag team match against two of the people of the Judgment Day. And he lost, and Jay ended up super kicking KO on accident. After that, KO was like, no, because he still ain't trust him. Ended up going to SmackDown to get away from Jay and to tear himself away from Sammy. Totally understandable. But when Jay saw, after him and Sammy made up, which I'm surprised Sammy was so forgiving, because Jay super kicked Sammy. So for Sammy to come out and accept you and say all that, I was surprised. I thought it would be the other way around. But Jay had Drew came out and Drew had stared him down. Rightfully so, because just like KO, Drew was fighting the bloodline for a minute. Okay? Jay's never won a match against Drew. Okay? And the one match he did win is because CM Punk had interfered. But for a while, Drew gets fixated on somebody and goes all the way in when he gets fixated. Because before the whole thing with CM Punk, he was fixated with Jay for a minute. You hear me? For a minute. Every time Jay had an opportunity, if it was not Jimmy interfering, here comes Drew. And I'm like, Drew even was like, he wasn't even that dude. And then he like was going to leave it alone. He couldn't leave it alone. Like, I know he didn't, but he's not a bloodline, but y'all don't understand. I'm like, bro, let it go. Okay? He really going to turn. He's going to turn. He's going to show his true colors. It's been a year. If he's going to show some colors, he been hiding them. Okay? This has been a year. Then it was the whole thing with him and Seth. And even Jay came to like the rescue. It was the whole thing with him and Seth. And then Jay was still in the mix of that with Drew. And then it became CM Punk when he interrupted his thing at WrestleMania. But even when I think Drew first came out, Jay came out, they were saying CM Punk. So, like, Drew was fixated, went from Jay and Seth to CM Punk. I don't even know who he's going to be fixated on when he come back. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? It could be Jay because Jay the IC champion. I don't know. But he crazy as hell. Okay. Also, from that, Jada had a lot of shirts. Jada had the blue and white Yeet shirt. Then he had the white shirt with the Yeet was faded out because I think they said something about copyright. Because I remember him being on Twitter and he was like, Yeet is back. Then he had that shirt. Now, when he go to certain cities, he got the hockey logo. He'd have been to like 2 hockey games. Now he got to have a hockey shirt if the city got a hockey team. Because I was looking at the shirt from the night. And it said, like, Yeet City. And I said, I like that shirt. Then he got the pink jump. Okay, that matched my Jordans. Then he got the black and gold jump from winning the title before they added the blue to it. The blue make it look like a whole new title. Okay? It look, because when I looked at Gunther having it and then him having it, I was like, that looked like two totally different titles. And then, yeah, so I'm like, that man have been, and then him helping like Woods and them, and then him and the New Day versus the Judgment Day and stuff like that, like, and that was all in a year. In a year. The people I think that he's fought the most is either Finn Balor or Drew McIntyre last year. Like, they was on a rampage for him. And this is how you know that, even though that Priest was in the Judgment Day, he had no beef with Priest, because when he came, it was like, the only reason why you are the leaders because Rhea got hurt, and tell her I said hi and all that other stuff. When JD came out and tried to do a sneak attack, he accidentally kicked Namie, was like, oh my bad. Like, he ain't even mean to, for real. Like, it's no beef, no malice or whatever. And then he was like, yeet, and got up out of here. But it's like crazy. Why I can't log into my doctor account thing? I don't know my password. So then Finn goes to Pearce, and talks about how he needs to go and have another match with Damian because it's not settled and stuff like that. And Pearce is like, yes, it is settled. He's like, it's settled. And Finn is like, no, it's not, because basically he lost. He was like, yeah, it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's settled. Like, and he was like, y'all going to have to, we gave you a month to settle it. You settled it. Now we focusing on these tag team championships. I said, okay, because y'all been sitting with them for a minute. Okay? And then I was like, dang, the women have been doing their thing with the tag team championships. Bloodline been defending is. Okay, even though it's basically been against the same two teams, which I ain't mad at, because that triple threat was enough for me. Okay? Just like I said before, Andrade versus Carmelo, and then Naomi and Tiffany, when they have a good match. Like, the last one was okay, when they both put everything into it. And then DIY versus Street Profits, I go watch that 7 times, like with Andrade and Carmelo. Now, Pretty Deadly, I forgot about them in A-Town Down Under, but A-Town Down Under was in NXT. But if you want to throw them in the mix and make it a 5-way tag team match, like, I'm here for that too. Okay? So the fact that Pearce is... No, then I think Finn said, I forgot what the hell Finn said. And I said, not you raising your voice at Pearce, okay? And I said, I don't know what it is with these cameras and these promos. I mean, these backstage moments. But why the backstage moments look like they in 4K, and then the ones on stage look like they in 1040? Like, what? What is that about? Or 1080. Sorry, 1080. My brain is like, what? That's not it. 1080. So I'm like, because it's real sharp. Real sharp. So that when he said we gonna have a tag team tournament to see who qualifies for a tag team, I'm thinking next week. I'm not thinking up next. So after that, or before that, American Made get a little promo or whatever, to being experience, height, strength, skill, whatever Chad said. And then Bron Breakker gives his promo. And I said, not you giving a promo and you basically giving a promo about how you mad. I said, he big mad. He lost that title. All I could think about when Bron Breakker was giving his promo, I said, you real mad about that, huh? I got this onion taste right here. And it's been sitting right here for 4 hours. I done tried everything. And this is why I don't know what happened to Big Red Gum, if Wrigley's discontinued it, because I feel like I'm the only person that buy it. But I read and I heard that cinnamon gets rid of all flavors, garlic, onion, all of that. So it's good to get like cinnamon floss, or have like cinnamon in your toothpaste, or get gum with cinnamon in it, which I do with the gum. I've tried everything. I've had ice cream, orange sickle ice cream. I done had tea. I'm about to eat some salad. I done had juice. Most of the orange taste is gone, except for this one side, and I can still taste it. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even like white onions on my burgers. Okay, and that's what Cookout makes. I miss Wendy's when they had red onions. Because red onion on a burger, especially if you get a good burger with red onion and some Gouda cheese, listen, okay? But I can't, I'm gonna have to mouthwash. Because it's, I can't do it. Oh, then I was watching when they showed them on Royal Rumble last year, because I ended up watching like the return of Naomi. I don't know why. I was like, I want to see her return. I was watching all the highlights and all the women's entrances and the men's. And why was he doing his tongue like that when he came out? First of all, second of all, okay, I said you're not supposed to be doing that. You married, okay? You know very much. Then when he came and attacked Jimmy at WrestleMania, I said you could tell that wrestlers and experienced ones learn how to fall. I said, because the way he attacked him, you think that Jimmy took the grunt of that hit. But that's why Jay was wrapped up like this on Raw, because he turned his body when they was falling, and he fell through the table. And then Jimmy fell with him, so Jimmy is on top of him, and Jay is underneath, which is dope. Because I'm like, not only did you take the plunge, you made it look sellable, and you made it so that your brother, who you are taking a plunge after, is not hurt like that. But yeah. So then Bronson Reed and Adam Pearce sits down. I didn't even catch all of what Bronson Reed has said because my internet is stupid. Um, and someone asked on Twitter, was like, big man is supposed to come through and wreck people. Like if they want to pick you up and fling you across the ring or across, that's what they're supposed to do. They like when big men are big men. And who is your favorite big man? A lot of people were saying Big E. Some people were saying Uma Femi. Some people were saying crap. Um, what's his name? Bobby Lashley. Some people were saying Braun Strowman, and then some people went real throwback and said some other people. Some people said maybe like I think like Ryder, um, and like stuff like that. And I said currently mine is Bronson Reed. Like I told my son, because I was like that was one of my favorite matches. Because I was like at the time, my favorite people on SmackDown were last year into this year before certain stuff happened was men were Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Ivar, Seth Rollins. Like everyone else is good, but um, those are my favorite at the time. So I was like Bronson coming in and smashing everything for me. Is it for me? Um, Currently, formally, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Um, so then after like Bronson Reed and Adam Pearce sat down and had their conversation, I don't even know what the conversation was about because, like I said, my internet lagged and I couldn't. I could. I just hate Spectrum so much, but I want to go. I'm about to go back to AT&T. They just put Spectrum up available around where I live at, so it's fairly new. And I was told that the towers and stuff like that are. It was like, oh, it takes 2 years. I'm like, I might not be here in 2 years. I want it to work now. Okay, when I had AT&T, I ain't had this issue. They more expensive, but if I compare the two, it's worth the price because Spectrum be on some other stuff sometimes. Um, Even if you pay your bill on time, it's the internet sucks. And then I'm in an old building. So that doesn't help. Okay. But when I heard the thing for like American Made, I mean not American Made, Alpha Academy, I was like, oh, they having a tag team title matches today. And I saw Otis and Tozawa, and I was like, I miss Tozawa on my TV because I had just thought about him the other day. And I was like, not only is he skilled wrestler, but he is hilarious to me. Like with him doing the Tozawa, like him getting with New Day and doing the dances and stuff like that. But I'm like, I think he's hilarious. And then something came out, and I said, who the hell? And it was War Raiders, and I said, why did it look like? And I said, oh my God, that is them. I was in so much shock because I kept talking about Ivar all this week. Okay. And my son and I was watching stuff. Yesterday we played Uno and Mancala and was watching like highlights from stuff and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know. So like y'all know Ivar is one of my favorites. And I was like, when is he coming back? Baby, not only he came back, Eric's back. And they got the NXT name back. And some people's like, they haven't been the same since they had they were Viking Raiders. They was like, they were not as skilled or sucked as Viking Raiders, and War Raiders was a better name. And all I could think about was when I was watching the Royal Rumble is Cole was like, yes. And he was like, what? She was like, I hope Valhalla has the antlers. And it's like, wow. She was like, she never loses when she has some antlers on. And I was like, and that's all I could think about with them when they said something about War Raiders. And I said, oh my God, not only is Eric, I was like, it's been about a year since we saw Eric. And I was like, Ivar, he's back too. So excited to see that. Makes more sense now that I know that Ivar is a high flyer and Eric is the muscle. So they came out. Tozawa, I think, started it. Ivar has stopped Otis when he was doing the caterpillar. And then, because Eric was in the ring for a while, and he had all the tats. And I said, now, first I said, Ivar looked like he lost weight. And then I said, has Eric always had them tats? Or is them new? And I said, because you know when you don't see people for a while, whether it be like in a movie or on TV or in person, you be reevaluating your life with certain stuff. Because I was like, I don't remember him having them tats on last year. Like, did he have them tats last year? And someone was like, he had them tats last year. And I was like, okay. I just got to go based off what people tell me. Because I'm like, I don't know what the hell. Like, it be so much going on in the story. Y'all know I'm focused on details. So I'm focused on like hair, look, makeup, all of that. Plus the skill of the match, plus the storyline, plus the production. Like, y'all know people that's been looking at these videos for a while. So like, I know, yeah, like I peeped Jay's tattoo before he showed it at Money in the Bank. Like, I knew he had his back done. You could see it through the shirt. Like, when he made her moves, his shirt would move, like his body moved his shirt. I was like, he got his back done. But like, I didn't know the tattoo, just like Rhea in this, it was filled in. And I was like, oh, it's done. So I didn't know that was new to me, or I never paid attention to it. Because I was so used to when Eric got injured, my first thought was, they're going to put Homeboy back on the shelf. But people like, they were impressed with Ivar being a breakout star. And I think I watched Chris Van Vliet with an interview with Ivar, and he's like, would you ever do a breakout star situation? And he was like, no, because Eric and I have always been a tag team, and that's what we are. Like, we're a tag team. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny because when he interviewed the Usos 5 years ago, he was like, they never thought about being a singles contender. They always been tag team. And I was watching Rikishi's podcast about the other day, and he was talking about Jay won an IC title, how much he's so proud of him, and he was there tearing up and stuff like that. And he was like, and dude was like, how do you feel that Jay is following your path? And I was like, I sit there and was like, he is following his path, ain't he? He said, you went from being a tag team with your brother's head shrinkers, and then he was like, you went through like 5 things of, you know, then you went to be a singles champ. And I was like, Jay sure is following his daddy's footsteps. And I was like, and I ain't even pay that no attention. Like, I be so engulfed in the story that certain stuff don't hit me until I read or see what other people say, or I sit there and think about it, and I be like, it sure do. Not even if I just be sitting like doing work one day, and then my son will text me or send me like a TikTok, and I'll look at it, and I'm like, this remind me, and I'm like, wow. Like, I'll be late with it though. Sometimes it don't register right away. Sometimes I'll catch it right then and I'll tweet about it, or I'll mention it in like a video. But other times I'll be like, I don't catch that at all. Like, after I watched the 2 videos on YouTube, I was going to do a review and just mix it in to this video. But I was like, if I remember it, I remember it. If I don't, I don't. And there's certain stuff that I remembered or that I wanted to say that I don't even remember now. So I was like, it's not important. But then he talked about Jimmy coming back and how he's excited for that and things like that. Oh, that's another thing with the backstage thing. They were showing like when Roman came out WrestleMania 40, and he had Jacob beside him, and they was like, maybe this is a key to Jacob being agent for Roman and still having his hands in the bloodline, because he was beside him in the thing, and then he had somebody behind him. And I was like, the person behind him is his nephew. Like, that's Rosie's son. I was like, Jacob at the time could just be there supporting his brother. His cousin. I'm like, y'all know they deep, okay? The thing might not have kicked in with it, but I'm like, if you watch like Muscle Man Malcolm's interviews and you tie that in with the picture though, I'm like, he could be an agent, because I'm like, every time they ask him who was his tribal chief, he say, Roman. He said Roman brought us to the promised land. This is what Roman would be my tribal chief. They was like, would you go up against him? And he was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he could have finessed us. But when it was asked recently, when Malcolm asked her recently who was a tribal chief, because people was like, who else would, if we do Family versus Family for Survivor Series, who would we do? And I was like, if they brought out Zilla, they ain't got to sign with the WWE. They could do like a contract thing and give them a payout. But like a recent thing Malcolm did, he was like, Malcolm said Solo's a tribal chief to Jacob's I think his friend, and you know, Jacob was saying, I love you, Solo. But I'm like, Zilla's still like, nope, Roman's my tribal chief. So he could be in it if they can't find Jay, or get Lance. Both of them doing independent stuff together. You know. So I know it's more of them, but them are the 2 that are like, I think they work in the same like circles as far as promotions go. So then Seth comes to talk to Pearce, like he needs to fight Bronson. He needs to get him. He was like, in order for him to stay the best, he has to fight the best. That he's beating up giants. He's taking down no, he wants to fight a giant. He's taking down beasts. He's taking down kings. He's taking down, and I say he sound like David when David tried to convince Saul about Goliath. That's exactly what my mind was like. Because I was like, he tried to convince David. I was like, if you know, you know. But now I'm breaking it down because some people don't know. But I'm like, when you read about it, that's like what he said. Like, he was like, I could defeat Goliath, which is basically a giant, which is what Bronson wants to do. And he said, I've fought a lion, I've killed a bear, and I could fight Goliath. Like, he's fought beasts. And then he's taken down kings and kingdoms after he defeated Goliath. But I'm like, That's what it reminded me of. And then he's like, okay. He was like, you want the best version of Seth on your roster? And I said, yes, please. Okay? So we can get you prepared to fight Gunther. Okay? So then they show, they had Cody come out, which threw me. So if I didn't know it was pre-recorded, I daggone sure would have known by then, even though it was mostly over. Because I know Cody is in Europe. He's one of those ones. If Cody ain't gonna be in Europe, they have certain faces. I know Gunther's always gonna go, not only because he's champion, but because his family's there. But if Cody is not in Europe, they're gonna have Bianca. It's either one of the two or both. That's because he's the main champion, I feel like, and Bianca's the face of the company. I don't care what nobody says. Just like I think Joe always said when she came out, like, one of the best to ever do it, and that's what she is. She is. If anybody was to say something like, name a person and like defines gender roles, defines all of this race roles, culture roles, who's the best current wrestler that we have, or one of the best, Bianca no doubt could be the first person to come to my mind. If you include accolades and all that, she is the only person that comes to my mind. She's the only one. Because not only does she have that, and she's skilled, and she cut promos, but she's like Seth. She ain't got no problem defending her titles all the time. She don't need no breaks. You don't have to see a title match once every 4 weeks, like how Gunther was or how Rhea was. You know what I'm saying? Like, she'll do one every SmackDown. She had to. Like, okay? Because last year when she was filming, she was a champion, and then she was filming Love in WWE. She was like, I ain't had no days off. I was like, dang. Like, some people would have died doing that. Like, cracked under pressure, whatever. But not her. Okay? So then Cody come out. Gunther comes out. What I also come to realize, though, from watching the Jade thing and the Jimmy thing, is Gunther is perfection when it comes to promos with heels. As a heel. Because I was watching the one when he was about to fight Gunther, and he was like, Gunther had said something about, oh, you did all this stuff, you have all these accolades. He was like, but you had him with a partner, basically. He was like, in the tag team, he's like, I got this accolade by myself. And I said, then Jay said whatever he said, and Gunther said, when I'm done with you, people are going to go back to saying, which one are you? I said, dang, not like that. Like, you ain't have to come at him like that. Because I was like, ooh, okay, not which one are you again. And I'm like, if you watch enough, watch them enough, or watch like the story enough, you can tell them apart. Like when I first started watching, also, yeah, I really couldn't. No, I could. I knew which one was Jay. Only because, not because Jimmy wore the hat, but because at the time I was watching Total Divas. And at the time, because John was on there so much, I knew who Jimmy was. You know what I'm saying? And that's before they had all this. It was just like the goatee situation. But yeah. Like Jay's hair now is like how it used to be in the Thunderdome kinda, but without the bangs. And I kinda like the Thunderdome hair. I don't know. Now I'm looking at it, I was like, he was cuter. Also like when he had his hair shaved on the sides and the long hair coming down. Like when they showed the YouTube video of Trendy and Jimmy switching looks for their titles, and she came out with Jay. Like, I like that look on. I like the hair on them like that too. But yeah, so Gunther was the which one are you, and then the whole street rat version thing with Damien. And then the thing with the situation with Sammy and him telling what's that man name? The bald head dude. Goldberg, that he's a one-trick pony. And he told him, trying to get my life together. And he told Cody he really ain't got nothing to say and bad about him. And then he was like, well, you basically are friendly with everybody. And Cody feels, KO feels some type of way. Get your emotional stuff together before you come over here and try to fight me, because I want to fight you at your best. I was like, that's understandable. Then he said something about like, if you friends like that with everybody, you basically friends with nobody. And I was like, I think about it, and I was like, depending on your perspective, that's true. So I'm like, if you are, say you are friends with everybody from your perspective, and somebody, one of your friends is talking about your other friend, you either have to say nothing, you have to shut it down, or like if you say nothing, then you look like the enemy because you should have told the other friend. But if you shut it down, then according to the one friend you shut it down to, you could be favoring the other friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? From that perspective, then yeah. But if you just cool with everybody, hey, how you doing? And you know what I'm saying? But then you got a close knit of friends, then it's different. I feel like, and that's when Cody was like, "What you think is my greatest weakness is my greatest strength." And he was like, I'm the only one that fought like a beast of a thing. Because Gunther tried to say that Cody's title was a secondary title. And I was like, when did the SmackDown title become a secondary title? I was like, according to Roman Reigns, the SmackDown title was the regular title. And Seth's title, when he had it, the Raw title was the secondary title. I was like, I'm going based off of what Roman Reigns said. Like, what is happening? Okay? So then what had me crying was Gunther shook his hand at the end and said, good luck to me, champ. I said, not good luck to me. Not good luck to me, okay? Second of all, if Cody ever want to go heel, I'm back. If Cody ever wants to go heel, with that blue on and that red tie, he could be a heel politician. Or like somebody said, a businessman. He could play like a politician-esque type wrestler that's very much gives you the runaround like politicians do, and be a heel like that. And that's his promos, because that's basically, if he put a little different tone on his promos with a little attitude, he could easily be turned to a heel. It's the same thing. It's the same promos he give now. Hey, what do you want to talk about? He could turn it to, hey, this is what we gonna talk about. And he gonna, instead of saying you and somebody that, he could have a little stank on his promos. He could very much so be a heel. It don't take much, because he already got the look. It don't take much, okay? But when he did his interview, he said he's not gonna be heel. He wants to stay a face, because he said, like Cena said, if you think that I need to be heel, or something like that, I think he said, John Cena said, in your mind, I'm already am a heel. So there's no point in me turning heel. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you get this let's go Cena sucks chance. And some people that love Cody. And then there's some people like, why? So I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you do. As long as you get your money, man. Okay? That's what Mike Epps said God said. Okay. So after that, Kofi comes out, and I was like, Kofi. And then he was like, he's going to fight. I think Joe said IC champ, or I misheard him. And he said the former IC champ. And then Bron Breakker comes out. I want to interview him. I seriously do, because I want I have a series of questions for Kofi, and only 2 pertain to wrestling. And none the rest of them are not vulgar or anything like that. But if he watches this, I want to conduct an interview. It's about 6 questions. Okay. Nothing to do. 2.5 of them have to do with wrestling. Because 2 is actually about wrestling. The standard questions for people that don't know who he is. And then 1 is halfway to do with wrestling. Because it has the word WWE family in it, but it doesn't have nothing to do with wrestling. And the rest of them have nothing to do with wrestling. But like, I just thought of questions to ask, because when I stopped watching at the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression era, like after The Rock left, and I tried to get in there, I tried the hardest. I watched a little bit of Batista and stuff like that, but after that I couldn't get with it. And then I stopped watching for a while, and then I saw Kofi on my screen. I was like, who is that? Okay. And then I was watching. That's why I was like, he's one of the reasons why I started watching. And then Edge, I was watching full on until he had to retire in 2011. Then I tried to watch a little bit after that, and I couldn't watch it no more. And then I watched it, I think in 2014. Was Dave Ortega on there on 2014? Like, he was wrestling before he became a commentator? I think so. I want to say. Whenever he was on there, I was watching a little bit. And that stopped. I just remember Bella's being on there, couldn't stand them, and all this other stuff. So I always mention that, and Dolph and Miz and all that. And then I started by watching 2022 because of my son. But I seriously want to ask him like 6 questions in person, not via, not in person, virtual, because I am interested, like, to know certain things for the fans, and just conduct an interview. Nothing out of pocket, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not like disrespectful. I know he's married. It's nothing like sexual, nothing like that. It's just regular everyday. It's just regular everyday questions. One of them has to do with video games. One has to do with shoes. So like questions like that. But yeah. So Bron comes out. Kofi. So Kofi, the match was going pretty smooth. My nose. And then Bron ends up, excuse me, I think he does the Trouble in Paradise move or something like that. Bron ends up, was it suplexing him? I forgot what he did. And then after that, like, Kofi was like, and then Bron did a spear. And I said, well, I was like, if that last move ain't did, that spear surely did it. And then Kofi ended up losing. And then he tried to do some other moves. And Xavier came out. And they showed prior to how Xavier was pissed because he helped Jay. And he was like, if you was out there and needed help, Jay would help you. And Woods was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you told me tonight I could be the quarterback, right? But you still like not abiding on let me make the plays. And I was like, I fully understand what Woods is coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, Woodsy has valid point. But, okay, his attitude and stuff will be the reason. Like, I can't do the attitude all the time. Or you pound it. You supposed to be such a positivity. And yes, people have bad days and stuff like that. But like, I'm like, if Kofi decided to turn on him go heal on him, I completely understand that. And I said, and and I guess I'll be a villain because, like I said, I completely get where Woods is coming from. Completely get where he's coming from because he's valid. He has a valid. But the last 2 weeks, you've been complaining about every single thing or what the issue is or something like that. Like, let it go, okay? Be frozen. Let it go, okay? Because we trying. What? So then, after all that, Woods gets hit by a breaker. So then Jay come out with that shirt on that I was like, oh, I like that shirt. Till I realized it's a hockey shirt, not my hockey team. So then, yeah. So he comes out. He saves them. He tries to say he super kicks Bron. Bron goes about his business. And I was like, so what? I was like, Kofi was right. So Kofi's basically in the background. I was like, see, I told you. Like, Jay came to rescue us. I'm like, what a weird, like, crazy alliance that has formed. So, now Truth match up against The Miz. So Truth comes out and goes, hey, are you going to be there to ringside with me to help me in my match? And Miz goes, I'm the one you're fighting. And he goes, oh. Which had me crying was on Twitter before that. Literally minutes before that, Miz thing shows up on my Twitter feed. And he goes, the reason why I'm fighting R-Truth is, and every second Truth's like, Miz. And he goes, Michael. So Miz goes somewhere else. Then he goes, the reason why and then he goes, Michael. Then he goes, the next part he goes, you don't like Michael? Do you want me to call you Mike? Then he goes to the bathroom and tries like, all right, he ain't gonna follow me here. Miz goes up and goes, Mike. Then he goes, I didn't see nothing. I'm like, based off this video alone, I will fight Truth too. Like, that's gotta be aggravating. That is too smothering. Come on, I'm supposed to fight. So then, during that match, the funny part is, Truth had on the Awesome Truth shirt and was rapping and stuff like that. They come out, Miz comes out with his stuff. I'm gonna tell you that Miz was a great heel. And I'll say that because there's a lot of people that was on Raw during that time tweeting talking about, I hate the Miz. And people are like, what? And somebody said, one of the people I was like doing a watch along with, and we were all watching at the same time, and he was like, he's like, I hate the Miz's character as a heel. He's like, I don't have no problem with Mike. And he was like, y'all gotta learn to differentiate too, because some of y'all be too involved. And I said, yeah, like at the time, one point in time, I hated Roman, but I was cool with Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care for Miz, but I like Mike. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta learn that some of y'all and y'all don't know how to separate. Like, this is their job. So him being Miz is his job. Him being Mike is who he is, what his family sees, his friends see, stuff like that. Like, but I'm like, for people still to hate him from like 2011 or 2012 and stuff like that, 2010, it's been 12 to 14 years. He did a good job, okay? Because that's been a long time and y'all still don't like him. And y'all still don't like him. That's what you call a heel, okay? That's what you call a heel. You hear me? That's gonna be Dom. Cause someone was like, how he out-healed himself. He went from that fake jail thing to being part of Judgment Day. Now you done cheated on Rhea and stuff like you done out-healed yourself. That when they have kids and teenagers that's older and people still look at him like, I can't stand Dom, now unless he has a face turn. Even if he does, it's still gonna be some people. That's what you call a good heel, okay? Honestly, I feel like if I was in WWE, like, being a face is cute for the kids, but I would probably want to be a heel because naturally I'm very like mellow and I'm very goofy and very nerdy, but I'm very like direct. So all I gotta do is bring out like my direct blunt side, add some little nonchalant in there. I'll be a heel all day. But like persona wise, like my personality, that's not who I am. So I would love to be something that I'm not. Like, I don't know. I think a playing a heel would be more fun. Um, so then, during that match, the Final Testament comes out, and the Wyatt 6 screen flashes across, and they come out. It distracts him, and he ends up pinning Miz in like 30 seconds, which we knew the match was gonna be short as 2 hours. 2 hour show. It was like 9:40. So he hugs Ava. Oh no, what's her name on WWE? He hugs Daphne. And then he hugs Miz and stuff like that. Then he hugs Karrion, and Karrion gets the face smile like had me cracking up. Then he's like, and then he tells LP to go grab him. They grab him. He falls to the ground. They throw him in the ring. Tell him to go get Miz to go get him. Miz attacks him, and then he's just left in the ring. He was like, oh, Truth. Because, like I said, people's like, if you attack Truth, you become the ultimate heel. Like, one of the ways to attack him becomes the ultimate heel. And then the final thing was Rhea and Tiffany versus Raquel and Liv. And before that, they showed the Saudi thing. So my son was like, it's going to be Gunther versus Cody. So I said, yeah. I said, I mentioned that in a video about 6 months ago, how it should be like Roman versus Seth, and whoever wins gets both titles. And then the person that gets both titles, instead of coming out with another title, say like Seth would have won. And then would have had the SmackDown and Raw title. Then you would have someone else on SmackDown eventually fight Seth, and Seth will lose the title so it can go back to SmackDown. Like that type of concept. I was like, so somebody's watching this because they basically took my concept and made a whole crown jewel belt. And he was like, they need to give you a raise. I said, mommy's not even hired. Okay? She don't even have a job with them. He was like, well, they need to hire you because... And I was like, son, if I worked at WWE overtime, we would not be living here. We would not be. Not in the city that I'm at, but the place that I live at. So Rhea comes out. Looks great. No, before that, Damien comes they do the promo in the background. That's why I was like, is this shot in 4K? Because it's clear. He asked her, is she okay? Does she need to come out and stuff like that? And Rhea was like, no, I'm good. He was like, I got you. And she was like, we discussed. You need to go after that. And then he was like, yeah, but if you got beef with the Judgment Day, I got beef with the Judgment Day. And she was like, no. She was like, I got this. Basically, like, I got this, bruh. So, I don't know what he said in Spanish. I know it ended in always. Because that's siempre. I wasn't really paying attention. And then she said La Familia, which means the family. And then they hugged each other, they dapped each other up. And he was like, yeah, it's time for me to get back with mine and become El Campeón. So the champion. And I was like, I don't know. Because I was like, you still got that clause with Seth if you was to stay champion, and you told me to get another rematch. But I was like, I feel like if they don't put CM Punk against Seth is going to be fighting Gunther for that title. He'll probably get that title back. Because yes, Gunther brings prestige to titles, and yes, he's great on the microphone, but it's something about Seth with a title as well that brings an oomph to it. And it ain't even gotta be a prestige. It's just a, and we got hella good matches in 2023 because Seth was a champion. Like some of the if we would have put Gunther in the same matches, the results would not have been the same. Like just imagine that match with Seth and Shinsuke. If it was Gunther and Shinsuke, it would have been a totally different match. Not saying it wouldn't have been good, but I don't think it would have been as exciting. Gunther is more so fun. He's a great wrestler, but he's more so a fundamentalist. He's not going to take as many risks. So he might go outside the ring, but that's all you're going to get from him. You're not getting him going off of storage cases and over there by production sound, stuff like that, and at the top of the entrance and stuff like that to the fiberglass. Like, you're not getting that with him. Okay? You're not getting him. You might get him beat the hell out of somebody in the audience, but he not gonna walk back that far. Like, he might go to the first 3 rows and then bring you back over. But like, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be terrible, but it's not gonna be the same. So I don't know. I just feel like, but I also know that Seth without a title is good too. Seth and Charlotte, I feel like with or without titles, are awesome. Who's that calling my son? And what time is it? It's 11:32. Like, whose kid is up? And if it's my niece, she know better. She just started homeschooling, and my sister just be half the time because my sister goes to work real early in the morning at like 4 a.m. She be knocked out at this time, so she don't even know my niece be up and just be calling people like, girl, first of all, courtesy rule. You don't call people past, you should, first of all, you should be asleep. She's 11. She need to be asleep at 9. She need to be in bed like 9:30. Okay? Like today my son went to bed at 10 because we watched the end of Raw. Most of the time, he sleep. We extended it from 9 to 9:30 only because he's 10 and because his school is literally 5 minutes. When I tell you it's 3 lights up the street, 3 lights from my house, it's 3 blocks away, and school starts at 9:20, we get up at like 8. And then some days, because he shower and stuff the day before, he don't get up till 8:45. He gets up at 8 if I know he's going to drag his feet. It's going to take him an hour. But if he could get up, get dressed, eat his breakfast that I done cooked, and wash face, brush his teeth, because the book bag is already packed, he gets up at 8:45. Like, but even still, like, they're not getting up. Like, that's crazy. But the courtesy rule, not unless that's your man or your woman, you ain't supposed to be calling. Or it's like a sibling or a real close cousin or best friend that you know that's up late. Like, if I know that you working until 11 and you want to talk to me and I'm up late, then you can call me, like my sister. But if it's like not important and then you know I normally the time I go to bed, don't call me. Or like, you know what I'm saying, like courtesy. Because people our age are married or have kids or something like that. Like, you don't call past like 10 o'clock at the latest. Now, unless you already on the phone with somebody and it goes to 10 o'clock. Like, you don't do that. But some people don't know that. Anyway, so what had me crying is Liv came out. And then I liked her gear. Because I was like, first I liked Rhea in the red with the red vest. And whoever did Rhea's gear did Raquel's gear. And I follow her. Because I be here for the hair and the fashion. So I think I follow more fashion designers and gear people, I think, than superstars on IG. Yeah, it's only like a couple of WWE superstars I follow. But like gear people I follow, like Miss Connie, Miss Sandra, Paz. Who I forgot the name of the people that do Rhea's gear. But they booked up this whole year. Because I went on her page. She done did a couple of Natalia's gears. She does Rhea's gear. I think she did Scarlett's gear or Liv's gear. I think she's done Shotzi's gear in the past. Like the stuff with like the netting and the spikes. She does those. And she did Raquel's gear. But I like Liv's gear because it's black and white, and everybody knows Liv, like especially watch Up Down. She always has one of her nails, her hands or her nails is painted all black, and the other one's all painted all white. So her coming out and swaying had me crying because when she started swaying, Raquel gave her a look like, girl, and she stopped immediately. So then they came out. For a while, you know, Rhea and Tiff was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And they were arguing. Raquel had picked up, this is before, so this is all over the place because I know I'm not doing none of this in order. Raquel had picked up Liv and threw her over both of them. Before that, I think Tiffany was in the ring getting beat up real bad. And then towards the end, and Rhea had pinned Raquel, I think. And then I think Liv had broke it up. And I was like, I said, why y'all like, I love Rhea's pins. Or, you know. So I was like, it looks, you know. So, and then, yeah, I was like, not you getting beat, because Raquel I remember Raquel giving the backbreaker to Tiffany. Tiffany getting beat up. And I said, girl, not you getting beat up by Raquel. Like, do something. Where's this prettiest moonsault and stuff that you be doing on SmackDown? Like, come on now. Okay? And she ended up hitting the prettiest moonsault, I think, tried to do it on Liv. Liv moved away and she hit her chest. I said, I didn't know that hurt. Okay? And then Rhea had Raquel outside of the ring with the riptide. And then Nia came out. And hit Raquel. But before that, they showed Jay going into a room. I don't know when that was recorded. I want to say probably Backlash. It could have been Monday though. But I was like, cause he came out that shirt quick. But then at the same time, Jay like Trick Williams. Like, they don't stay in no shirt or don't have no shirt on at all. He don't stay in no shirt for long. Jay will rip a shirt in half real quick. And then when they were showing his interest when he became IC Chatter with his son, I was like, his son hair is really long, first of all. Second of all, I was like, is that his son's friends? And what security send the little boy after his dad did his entrance? Because he kissed him and went on about his business. So I was like, where'd the little boy go? Like, I'd be having questions. Because I'd be like, what? Okay. And then, so then Jimmy came out before I get back to that match. Then Jimmy came and was like, hey, I need to talk to you. And Jay said, I told you no. And walked off. I said, okay. Somebody was like, oh, he need to go. And I said, first of all, y'all forgot all the trauma that man been through for the past 4 years. With Jimmy there and without Jimmy there. Then when he broke free from Roman and finally got his mind right, Jimmy go and attack him for the whole 6 months that he was there till Jimmy was out for 6 months. And attack this man or interrupted matches, and then you want to talk to me. Like, go to hell on. That's what I would have said. So they looked at me like, and walked off. Because what, you ain't got nothing to say to me. If he was like, oh, I say it's not gonna be easy. I say it's gonna be either a couple months or they gonna drag this out for a month until Survivor Series. But I'm like, the only way it will play on SmackDown is if for some reason Jay needs to come to SmackDown for something. But other than that, or we see like them trying to talk to each other as Saudi. But other than that, that's not gonna happen. For real, Roman will have to come, excuse me, and apologize and all that. But even if Roman comes and apologizes, after a while, even he stopped messing with Jay. It was mainly just Jimmy. So I'm like, what in the hell? You're not about to get that man come back. And if you do get him to come back, you're going to get him to come back with a twist. Okay? Which is, we going to do this bloodline thing because we family. Okay? But it's not going to be the old bloodline. It's going to be new and improved. You still tribal chief. We still respect you, you know what I'm saying? But you're not about to sit here and try to manipulate me like you used to, because I'll whoop your ass. That's what I will say. I pinned you 2 years ago. I will pin you again. You looking at a new Jey Uso. That's what I tell them. I am the IC champion. I've been out here doing this by myself. I tell them straight like that. Like, yeah, I'm with you, but I ain't with you. Because I know how to walk away. And be like, in the blink of an eye, y'all mess around, y'all gonna find out I will be out of this bloodline 2.0. Not part 2, the Temu version. The new improved bloodline 2.0. I'll be out of here faster than you could say Friday Night SmackDown. Like, don't play with me. Like, that's exactly how it would come if I was coming and come with stipulations. Or, I'm here to get your life together. I'm here. I'm down with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because you my twin and you my other twin. We triplets. We grew up together. Whether I love solo, but he on some other stuff. Okay. Gotta get him back together. You know what I'm saying? And then after this, I'm out. He go back to Raw. Like one of the two. But more likely the first one. And if they all agree on that, and he could still be tribal chief, you know what I'm saying, and carry out his stuff, and they have a little bit more respect for the boys, then yeah, we can have a new improved bloodline. But if that's not going to be the case, or at least let it be a new improved bloodline for about a good 6 months, and then Jay maybe fall back in. But Jay can't really fall back in because all the people he had beef with prior to when he left the bloodline, he ain't got beef with no more. So now, if he was to rejoin, you know what I'm saying, because that's his brother, like, people would get it. Like, Cody would get it, because Cody got to team up with Roman. But, like, how would Sammy be? How would New Day be? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different set of stories, which is good, but, like, how's that going to play out? Which I'd be curious to know. And then, with KO turning heel, how is that going to play out? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, is he going to be on the other side? Like, he don't like none of y'all now. You know? Like, the only person that he might like, the only people that he might like is Jay and Sammy that were in the bloodline. Like, and then, okay. Nia comes out. Raquel. Rhea was pissed. Rhea goes and attacks Nia. I think Nia headbutts her. No. She goes and attacks Nia. Rhea. Rhea goes out the ring. Then Liv comes in. Liv headbutts her. I forgot where Raquel was. I guess she was still out the ring. Nia does annihilator on Liv. Then she tells Tiff to go get your briefcase to cash in. Tiffany looks at her like, okay. I'm like, Tiffany don't want to cash in on Liv. It'd be nice for her to cash in on Liv because her and Ludwig can be on the same brand. They could travel together. But Tiffany don't want to cash in on Liv. She wants to cash in on you. That's why she wasn't really tripping. Or she was such like caught up. So she handed the briefcase slowly. And then once she handed the briefcase, first of all, the ref was a little slow. Because he said he did what he did. And then he was like, so you going, and okay, like, and every time all that happened, Dom came out of nowhere and pulled Liv up out of the ring. And Herman and Raquel walked up the thing with it. And she looking like, and I don't even know where the hell Rhea was at. And then that was the end of that. And I was like, this is going to continue. And I was like, and Rhea and Nia had beef. She was on Raw before she got drafted. So I'm like, we always know before the draft between Royal Rumble and Royal Rumble WrestleMania, the draft only really lasts 6 months. We gonna keep it a buck. The draft lasts from when it first draft to maybe a month in the Money in the Bank, and it veers off a little bit. Then it comes back together. People stay in their brand. And then at the Saudi, the draft just goes to hell. Like, whoever got drafted or whatever brand, it don't even really count no more. And then we might get a little come together. And then they'll have the Christmas shows, the 2 shows before Christmas. And then they'll have a week off from like the 18th to the 25th. And the 26th, they do the holiday tours and stuff, which they show us like the best of Raw, SmackDown, and all that other stuff. And then they'll have like New Year's Eve off. And New Year's Day, if it falls on a Monday or Friday, we'll have it on TV. And then it starts back up like with the Rumble and stuff. And there's no longer draft. People just be mixed up until after WrestleMania. So low key after Survivor Series, kind of like the start of Crown Jewel into Survivor Series. It's really no longer a draft. People just be on whatever brand they want to be on. So they should say this draft lasts 6 months, because that's exactly what happens. It lasts 6 months. Because now, because of the Crown Jewel situation, each champion gonna be on each person's thing. And then Jimmy gonna continue to be on Raw. You see what I'm saying? And then I feel in my spirit that Giovanni eventually is gonna end up on Raw because of what Ludwig did to him. And then like certain other people could end up on SmackDown. So it's just stories that have not even finished when they were last year. We're going to carry over. So I'm just waiting to see, because it's October 14th. Yeah. So we got a whole 2 months to figure out what's going to happen. I'm excited. Now I'm tired. So I don't went on so many rants tonight. It's 11 minutes to midnight. It's 11:49. And my son has a field trip tomorrow, and I'm chaperoning. So I'm about to go to bed. I've never missed a field trip to his. He always wants me to chaperone. Even with him being in 5th grade, I asked him, I said, you still want me to chaperone? He said, yeah. And he was like, you still gonna do it? I said, I'm gonna do it as long as he wants me to do it, because it's gonna be a time where I want him or want to show up to something of his, and he's gonna be like, Mom, you don't have to come. And I'll be like, oh. So, yeah. Let me go to bed. I hope you guys have a great night. Have a great week. I will 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be watching NXT while I retwist my son's locks and shape him up in the back, because the back part right here, I cut off because the locks were intertwined. So I got clippers. I shape them up back here and I retwist up here. But, yeah. So, have a great night. Like I said, be blessed because you are blessed. Love you all. Bye.